Huddle, the podcast that brings you the heart and soul of Rolla Bulldogs high school sports. All right, everyone, welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by our title sponsor, Phelps County Bank. Speaking of Phelps County Bank, always love to give them a shout out. They are bankers by day, but they are Bulldog fans by night. 100% employee owned, 100% community champions. Go to mypcb.com, find out more about Phelps County Bank. And tonight we have a Taylor Chrysler Coach Talk episode. It is of season 3. We are on episode 51, and it is the first one of the 2026 calendar year. And we have today the Bulldog coaching staff. Hey, gentlemen, thanks for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Hey, it's awesome. So we just got done with the team meal, man. How about that, huh?
Thanks to Colton's, man. That was good stuff.
I tell you, man, get that old pasta in there, and good thing it wasn't game day, man, meal, because that might have been
A little heavy. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's good stuff. Yeah, appreciate everybody over there at Colton's for providing that meal for us tonight.
Don't tell my wife I ate some of it because I'm supposed to take her to dinner in a little while.
Hopefully she's not watching this live. We'll try to keep it between us. So how about New Year's? How was you guys' New Year? I mean, I had the tournament and then got done there. And so, would you guys have anything? Do you have special traditions you do on New Year's Eve or anything?
Well, I had to get Josh out of jail. He was partying too much, and that's not true. Just so everybody knows, Josh Vineyard is not out partying. I'm just joking.
It's out there forever.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
I went up to Columbia, saw my longtime best friend and his wife and kids. Yep, went up there and played the Uncle Mike role. So
yes, nice.
He's got 3 little ones now. It was fun. It was very mellow. I think we went out for dinner and we were back home by 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I think it was a struggle for me to make it to the 11 p.m. Central Time, New York midnight time ball drop. I think I saw that one, and that was about it. I was out after that.
Well, you're getting up there a little bit in age, right? It kind of happens.
If you're gonna run with the big dogs, you got to step up a little bit, son.
Yeah, Josh, you got anything special you guys do?
We went to my wife's aunt's house. We do that every year, and so it's good. There's lots of little people running around, and they're old enough now where they can play games and board games and cards, and teaching them all that stuff. So it's good family time for all of us to get together and do that. So it was a good night for us.
We broke up our tradition, had our first time, got a new tradition started, had the grandson.
That's
2 months old.
That's a solid
stayed all
tradition.
night. I tell you what, it was kind of cool. Kind of hanging out with us, and that was the first time Zach and Ashley had been away from Bennett. So man, it was a great time. I can see that.
He's a cute little dude, man.
Oh, yeah, he's here tonight.
Yeah, Granny's over there cuddling him right now. He's a cute dude.
And it's like can't keep him, but yeah, he's pretty cool. So that's our new tradition. So that's kind of cool. Hey, so 9-1 on the season after winning the Phelps Health Boys Holiday Tournament that was on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. A little bit different this year, day after Christmas, kind of make it a little tough on the teams traveling in. But man, what a showing! I mean, and I was going back through the data, and so that's the third time in the last 4 years that you've won the title, and it was so last year we were in the championship game, lost to Principia, which was a state champion. So that's 3 out of the 4 years of the last 4 years. But that's the 7th consecutive appearance in the championship game of the holiday tournament.
Nice.
That is a great run.
That's good.
Yep.
And it's 12 of the last 13 tournaments we've had. You've had a team in that championship.
I like that.
That's a great run. And I like to throw out there just for the family because it gets a little rough sometimes. So on the Brown family stats, Ethan now is 3 for 4 in championship games to kind of crush his older brothers. Trey, 3 appearances, brought home no championships, and then Zach went 1 for 2 back in the other years. So just want to put that out there because there was always the DC thing they always do with him. So give Ethan a little bit of ammunition there to go back at his brothers. So thoughts about, do you have a favorite tournament? I mean, this has been, was it 39 years or something like that? I think it was 39th. I think this was the 39th annual tournament.
Somewhere around there. It goes way back to where, it was a lot differently shaped tournament. Back in the day, there was usually 4 local teams and 4 out of community teams. And it's changed up now to where it's mostly out of town teams that are coming in here. But to add one more thing for Ethan Brown, so we got to honor him in our opening game of that tournament, scored 2,000 points already this year for his career, and we turned the lights out on him as we were about to give him the basketball. But man, that kid's he's a player, and he's very humble about his accomplishments. And but we'll give one more shout out to Ethan over his brothers. I don't think his brothers scored
No,
2,000.
not even combined. Not even close. So, hey, Mike, so you've played in the tournament
Yeah.
and now you've coached in it. You got a favorite memory or anything?
Honestly, we were I think we played for third most of the years that I was in it. Warrensburg had a really good program for many years when they had a few studs coming through my years, mainly playing for third. So there weren't too many highlightable moments my career in that tournament. But, with him saying how it used to, I do remember whenever I was a kid watching some tournaments, and I used to love whenever we would have, I think the staple was like Rolla, St. James, Salem, and maybe Waynesville as like some
Licking was in it
Licking
for a
maybe. Then
time
we
too.
kind of had some four staple like local teams. Then we brought in teams from like not just out of town, like
Out of
two
state.
or three out of state
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
for those 3 or 4 other spots. And I always remember like it was kind of cool seeing these teams that you never see or never even really hear
Yeah.
of. And you kind of get to see what else is out there across other states. So I liked those tournaments whenever there was some teams coming up from Arkansas that were just powerhouses back in the day, and those were always fun to watch.
And Rogers, Arkansas had that matchup zone.
Yeah.
And people would show up just to watch those games and watch them play. And then you'd have them, and then you'd have that group we talk about, like from Waynesville that would come in, or maybe a St. Louis team that would come in that was just completely opposite of that. And then watching those teams battle, and I mean, there was kids, D1 players all over that tournament back in the day, and you'd have those kind of stars kind of come through.
I
And
remember when Derek Hood came through. Gosh, he was a beast. What an athlete, and he was a superstar. Gosh, there were some other guys that.
There were some good teams from like a team that was like George Washington out of Texas.
Yeah.
oh
There
yeah,
was some
yeah.
teams. Those were like the whenever I wasn't playing in those days, but I remember coming to watch teams. I was like, who is this team? And it's different basketball at that time. Whenever those teams from out of state come in and showcase some talent.
And then I remember last year when Principia came in,
Yeah.
and
That was rough.
that's some talent.
Yeah.
And
That's as
believe
good
it
a
or not,
talent
they're
as
better
ever.
than last year.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think they're currently ranked second or third nationally after that the Palms tournament they were in, where they took out the number one team in the nation. And again, that is off non-prep schools, so that's public-private schools, not preparatory schools where they can bring in the older kids and everything. So Coach Vineyard, man, you've been coaching here for a while now. You got a favorite memory of anything about the tournaments or anything, or?
A few years ago, we were in the semifinal. I remember Gage Klausner spraining his ankle really badly. I think we had Poplar Bluff the next night.
Gosh, that was something.
And that thing was just massive. I mean,
I've never seen a kid play through something that he played through.
it was just a gruesome type of injury, but I mean, the guy iced it, and
It was swollen,
Placed and-
black and blue.
stood up, and then went out, and I think we lost to Bluff in overtime. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yeah.
It was a close game.
Yeah.
But he was just a warrior, and that's kind of, I feel like that's a pretty good
I told him he
picture
couldn't.
of our program.
If we see you limping, we're not going to let you play.
Come out.
I said, you got to come out and warm up, and if we see any kind of limping out of you, and I have no idea how he wasn't at least limping,
It's
because
just
it was.
a cool moment.
It was brutal.
And it is kind of a testament to the type of kids we coach. That he wasn't. There's no way he was going to not play.
What a great memory for him to
Oh, yeah.
be able to look back.
And he
on,
played
too.
really well, even despite having such a badly sprained ankle. So that's just a cool moment in the short time I've been here
No, that's a good
for
one.
him to fight through that. So
Yeah, that's a heck of a game. I remember Raytown coming in that went to the Final Four, but then COVID canceled it, so they just got to the Final Four. That was it.
Yep.
And that was one again. That was a game that kind of hanging in there with some of those teams, kind of surprising them. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And then the way they do it, and the all the activities and stuff, and being over at some of the schools are playing at S&T is kind of a nice thing. We played over there sometimes, and I kind of like that, being in the big environment.
Yeah.
But now we got I mean, even before with our gym, it was always kind of a nice gym. And that was one of the officials had shown up and made the comment. It was the gentleman from Marshfield that's now in the Jeff City League. I can't remember. You would know who it is.
Yeah.
He was in the early games on that I was here for, and he was talking about how much he missed the old gym. He goes, there was no gym like it
Yeah.
with the noise and
100%.
how that was. And he goes, oh, this is really nice. But he goes, man, he goes, my favorite atmosphere of all the games, of all the places I officiated. He goes, that was always his favorite.
I got that every place we went.
Yeah.
They coaches, the officials would all say that. Yeah.
Oh,
House of Sound.
House of
House of Sound.
Yeah, the KJL. What's his name? That was a KJL for Lebanon radio announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can picture him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but he was talking about that. He was just on the. Because he was one of the last ones to go there, and that was kind of a big thing for him. So let's take a look at the tournament itself. So he ended up again winning the championship. First game he had was Fox out of St. Louis, and that was a tough one. I mean, so it's 93-52. I mean, it was a tough game for them. It was a lot of points going up. I was looking at this. So you had 73% from two as a team, 53% from three, 29 assists, and only 9 turnovers, 13 steals, 56 points in the paint. Which again, I mean, you're putting up 93, so I guess it's kind of expected. But Giddey went off for 23 points. Cooper Gideon 4 for 4 from 3. So that was kind of a nice opening round game for him. And I know something you were wanting to see from Cooper is we know he's a great shooter. We had him this summer, and man, he was able to really kind of turn that on for us.
He needed that at that time. I mean, I don't know that his confidence is waning any. I mean, he knows that we have plenty of confidence in him, and he does a lot of other things now besides just shooting the basketball. So, but it was good to see him break out and have a big game like that. And man, we've got a lot of different weapons. So have him one game, have a couple other guys the other two.
Yeah,
and he's doing the right things too. He's getting in the gym after practice and getting makes up, and that consistency I think will come. He's putting the work in for us to do the right things and kind of find that consistency for us, and so that's good to see too. He's sticking with it and putting the work in.
Well, I think in that tournament we had 3 different leading scorers in those games. Again, showing that we've kind of had a lot of that this year. Rebounding, kind of the same thing. Everybody, the amount of rebounds going across the board from our team, is kind of cool to see too. So you jump into Warrensburg in the next round, and we Coach Nemo up there always has teams ready to play. Not quite the teams of the past, but got his son's a heck of a player, and holy cow, the boys didn't really kind of say maybe they picked up where they left off, but they didn't shoot as well as they did the night before. They're down to 68% from two, and then 38% from 3. But then with 20 assists, had a few more turnovers, but more steals. But defensively, they weren't giving up any of those threes, and so they won 70-35 over Warrensburg. And
did you get the amount of dunks?
Yeah, started the game.
Oh my!
Yeah, back-to-back
and
dunks
style
to start,
dunks too. Wow.
Okay, so so I was calling the game on the radio, and we were kind of when we got the steal. Richter gets out there on the break. Jensen's following him, and I'm like,
we knew it.
You knew it.
Yep.
Richter goes up, lays off the backboard. Jensen comes up, grabs it, throws it down with 2 hands. And of course, crowd erupts on that. And I lean over to JP Maxwell because we were on the season ticket 104.9, and I'm talking to him. And I said, okay, let me tell you a story. I go, Coach Miller used to have this rule about you miss a dunk, you're setting. And in that same holiday tournament where I talked about where we thumped on, so the Zach senior year and Kobe and all them, we thumped on Hogan Prep in the semifinal, beat Waynesville by 30 in the championship game. I think it was the Hogan Prep game, and we were up big, and they go down there. Zach gets it. Buggy's following him. Logan Short's following him. Sorry, Buggy. Zach throws it off the backboard. They do not convert on the dunk. I mean, we were up 30, and Coach Miller loses his mind, sets them down. Now they're going to sit anyways about that point.
Yep.
But it was like one of those days you always think about. And there was a few years back, somebody did the same thing. It might have been Kobe Martin and maybe Alec, and I don't think that went down either. And so I texted Zach. I said, "Hey," he goes, "Did they get benched?" I'm like, "Yep." And so I don't know if this younger group knows if that rule even still exists because I'm sure you've softened up a little bit as you got older.
We promote them going out.
We got guys that can't go after.
Exactly.
Back then, those dunks were a little slobbery.
Exactly. That's right.
The rim grazer.
Yeah, we've got three that I would say anytime they want to go up and try, go.
Yeah.
And we've got a few others that maybe when we're up 15 or 20, give it
Those
a go.
3 miss one, they're not coming out just because. I can promise you that.
Yeah, Paxton had some real nice dunks with that opening play coming in there and putting it up on him. And then we had a steal. And Ethan got one on a steal and a dunk. And then Paxton had a couple others, and Jensen had some. And I think that's a lot for a team to face, like a Warrensburg on that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So then we head in the championship game. So championship game, we got Class 2, number 2 in the state, Eugene Eagles. Defending state champion, high caliber team. We've seen them in the off season periodically or in the fall leagues. We'd see them sometimes.
Sure.
Personally, good friends with some of the dads and the kids that are on there. Ethan's played with, so we knew what we were kind of getting into. We talked about that tough nosed team, and
Tradition.
Yeah, they got it. They've always been there. Back when I played against them in high school, they were tough back then. But it was really, I mean, it just was a different game than we had the first two, right? So we got a lot of those transition points out there. This game, they wanted to slow it down. They ran some special defenses on us. And I was looking at, so we only had 4 transition points
Mhm.
and only 6 steals. Again, and that's something that normally
Sign of a good team.
Yeah. And that's something we normally kind of jump on and get those out there. Dropped to 48% from 2, 28% from 3, only had 11 assists, but only 6 turnovers. But again, that also goes to the way that style of game was getting played. And it was a physical game. It was a rough game and a lot of hands. Had to play it, but I mean,
When I came off the floor, I was telling our guys, that that's what we do to a lot of teams when we throw our zones out there. Is it's really frustrating to play against that, and I feel like Eugene does a nice job with that. It's certainly a way for them to keep the game close and have an opportunity, and they've got really good players and they're well coached. They've got a really good staff there, so we knew going in it would be a handful, and I can't remember if it was Mike or my wife that I said, this is going to be one of those ugly type of wins, and it was pretty ugly.
It was pretty ugly, yeah. 57-51. Kind of had grinded out at the end. Had the lead, I think, pretty much the entire.
Yeah, even the end wasn't really in question. It's just how dumb are we going to be, as we close this thing out. Got it done.
Yeah, a couple turnovers at the end. Had some missed free throws. I was giving Ethan a hard time about that, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And finish that off. But yeah, again, there's a high caliber team, but it's one of those, we're talking about, is like when you play those smaller schools, they got it's more than just a game for them.
Yep.
It really is, and that's one of the things you got to be prepared for, for kids to be resilient and say, hey, what are we leaving as a legacy? Are we gonna play and give into that, or are we gonna put teams away like they did in the first 2 games?
Yeah, that's that's easy for us to say stuff like that. But I was talking to Coach Walker over at after his game with the team out of Kansas City,
William
Jewell the other night, and they won ugly. And I said, Coach, it's amazing how many times it doesn't matter how good a team you've got or whatever. There's just going to be games throughout the season where they're just going to be. You're not going to play very well, and you've got to hope you find a way to get through those. And I wouldn't say that we played poorly against Eugene. I would say we just didn't play quite to the same way we played the first 2 games. But the bottom line is you make sure, you want to just try and get through it and get that W. And you can't always do that.
Yeah.
But congrats to Coach Walker and the Miners.
Yeah.
They got it done.
They got it done. They had a little bit of the same with on Sunday with Truman State. A little tough when they got a new coach over there, and that was an interesting game to say the least. But they came away with the victory.
It's hard to explain unless Billy, he understood it. Yeah. But that's just, it happens throughout the season, and you got to hope it comes at the right time where you're playing a team that you're a lot better than, or you've got to find a way to just grind it out.
In hindsight, those games are good. You've got a game where you struggle and you lose, or you've got a game where you struggle and you win. And so obviously the ones where you struggle and win are better, in my opinion, than the ones you lose. But it kind of points out some things that that some flaws or things that you need to work on. And one of the things that I feel like we came away with that Eugene struggle but win was we don't value possessions very well. Which understandably, like with a high powered offense that we have and that we've had for so many seasons, we don't struggle usually to score points typically.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be inconsistent nights that come along that we do kind of struggle. And it's going to have to be on our players to be able to kind of read the room, read the game, read the momentum, and see like, hey, we need to maybe value some possessions because we're not scoring at will tonight. Whenever you've got a team with tradition that can D up and that wants it, that's going to happen. And so, coming out of that game as a coaching staff, we had a sit or a talk with the team saying like, hey, we need to learn how to read the game and what the type of game is, and can we come down and just do whatever we want whenever we want? No, you got to make sure that you're valuing each possession because points are going to be tough to come by in this type of game. So
And on their behalf too, this is a group of kids that have come up from being little kids playing together, and for the most part they've steamrolled just about everybody they play. And so we talked about how we need to be diverse enough with our game that if the game calls for us grinding out some buckets and playing it at the pace that we have to play in that game, then we need to learn how to do that better. And it's this is a team that will get it figured out.
Oh yeah.
It's they're they are they're looking for all the different ways to win, and I can promise you we are too.
I think that's a good sign of a team that can make a deep postseason run, because you're going to get games where you're going to have to win possession games, and can you execute and win those? And there's going to be games where it's a track meet, and can you win those? Can you win different styles? Because when you get in the playoffs and quarterfinal games and Final Four games, that's where you might have to play that style, and good teams can win however they need to win.
Right.
And that was a good sign for us, and we'll get better at some of the details at the end of the games and things like that, but it was a good sign for us that we can win in different ways.
Yeah, you think about, like I said, the state run would come in from the different regions because there is definitely trends of how style is played in different parts of the state. And we'll talk about that here in a second because this coming weekend we'll get a new interest too and get back to some of those
100%.
Kansas City teams.
Yeah.
So before we jump into some of that stuff, hey coach, so the JV stepped up and filled in because we had a team drop out.
Yep.
So your JV team went in there and had a chance to perform and play in the tournament, and you guys came away 1-2.
Got a dub.
Yeah, got a dub in there and had a chance to play for consolation.
Yep.
And kind of went down to fell to Waynesville, but it was down 20-15 at halftime, and I think it even in the third quarter, I think did you get below that?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
around that-
we got it to one possession at one point in the third.
And it was just there. I mean, it was there and competing, and then they got really hot towards the end,
the end of the
and
third
then,
quarter.
kind of made it tough. But man, what a step up! And again, shorthanded, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Ball went down a few weeks ago, and you're kind of making.
He's big for that
Oh,
for
yeah.
that JV team. I mean,
And we brought James
Yeah.
up because we're down, so we only had 8 on
Yeah.
the varsity side too, and so
Yeah.
you kind of spread those things out. And so maybe talk a little bit about your team and how they battled.
No, I felt like the first game out was kind of one of those things. Playing Mexico was good. I mean, they've got great tradition and they're a really good team.
And I think they're ranked I
They were
believe
top-
7th
yeah.
in class 4. I think now maybe.
Yeah, so they were 4 or 5 in that range when we played them, but it was a good opportunity for our younger guys to get to see the speed of what a varsity game is, because we play against it every day, but then when you get it a meaningful circumstance where you're playing against a really good team that's got really good athletes and they're well coached, all of that stuff, it gave those guys a chance to see this is what the next level looks like, and this is why we need you to do the things you're doing and we're trying to get you to do. And we bounced back against Pius, and that was kind of a back and forth game. We jumped on them early.
Yeah.
I think we jumped out in almost double figures early on them, and then kind of had to win ugly at the end a little bit and finish the game and shoot free throws. Aaron Stallworth came off the bench for us, and he's a work in progress for us, but he keeps showing really
showing good improvement.
good improvements, steady improvements for us, and he's kind of getting to where he's seeing how good he could be, and he's getting a little more hungry for it.
Yeah.
And so he was really big at the end of that game and gave us a big boost and helped us win. And against Waynesville is kind of one of those things where we were right with them, and they had they didn't shoot it well early, but I thought we defended them really well. We didn't give them a lot of easy looks, and they got free for some looks in the third. And I think it went from 6-12. They hit a couple threes in a row, and then it was just, it was hard for us to get over that hump. But what a great experience for our guys. I thought they competed really hard.
Yeah.
They battled. They did everything we asked them to do, but it was a good measuring stick for them too, to see like, hey, this is against good teams. I can't do this, so I got to keep getting better at it so I can do it against varsity competition. So it was a win. It was win-win all the way around, even though we only won one game, but it was a good experience for our guys to get to do it.
Yeah, I thought the Mexico game. So again, you had to survive a little shock and awe.
Yeah,
Mexico. So, I mean, they came out and they're on the big court, the S&T court. So you throw that in there too. So that's a little bit different on those kids who haven't played there before. And again, they were Mexico was clicking to start that first quarter.
Yep.
But the kids, like you said, they battled, they competed, and in that fourth quarter, I mean, they weren't quitting.
No.
They battled and competed, and I was so happy to watch that, because that would be easy to make excuses and say, well, yeah, we're JV and all, they're this and they're that team's that good, but they didn't, and they just kept battling through and finding ways to compete and do things. And man, I was just
next generation of Bulldogs. So
and they
we need
really
that.
in the locker room, they were, they were kind of frustrated because they wanted to they wanted to compete and they wanted to do well, and they felt like, man, if we could have maybe kept it closer. So they wanted to compete and go out there and take a chance at it and give it a shot. And so we were real happy with that. They wanted to go out and really show what they could do and compete for us, and they did that regardless of what the score was. They tried to compete and battle, and that's all we can ask out of them.
tell you, you got to love that for the team, showing that and having that opportunity to do things. And, like I said, as a coach, that's what you want to have. Are they going to compete? Hey, before we kind of move into the next games coming up, let's go ahead and give a shout out to some of our sponsors. We already talked about Phelps County Bank, 100% employee owned. They are the title sponsor for Inside the Huddle. Taylor Chrysler, they are the Coach Talk Edition, so they sponsor that for us. I appreciate them doing that. And then Home Sweet Mo Properties, they take care of the Spotlight Edition when we do all the other activities out there, senior signings, things like that. Kobe Juan Skills Academy, appreciate everything he does, works with the kids, does a great job. We always love to have Kobe on there, two-time All-State Bulldog. Jackie Morozowitz in full bloom. Appreciate everything there. We already talked about Colton's providing the team meal this week. Appreciate that. And JP Maxwell over there at Season Ticket. There will not be an episode this next Tuesday, 5 to 6. JP's out there and enjoying some sun and fun on some cruise. So good for him. Be able to go with the family, do some of that. But we'll be back on in 2 weeks to talk there about that. So looking ahead, tomorrow night, we have Marshfield at home. So one of our few home games this year. So there's only 3 home games left, right?
Not many.
Yeah, I think 3-ish.
Three home.
We've got
Orchard Farm, Orchard Farm, Camdenton, Battle.
Yeah.
So 3 after this one. So
Three
that's right. 3 after this one. So man, come on out tomorrow night. Freshmen start at
4:30.
4:30, and then
Triple header.
Yep, got triple header. Yeah, because the back gym, we got senior night going on for wrestling, and the back gym is going to be a crazy thing. So make sure you show up early, be here ready to go. So Marshfield, we're familiar with Marshfield. We last year took them down twice. 80-37 at their place, and then in districts that we hosted last year, beat them 85-33.
They're a lot different team.
A lot different, yeah. They got again, a familiar coach, new coach, but familiar. Adam Thornhill was just came from Aurora, but was also a Lebanon coach for a long time. You've known him for a long time.
I've known Adam for quite a few years, and he's doing a good job there at Marshfield. His son's playing for him. They've got some solid overall size. They're not huge or anything, but they've got solid size, and his son can attack the basket very well. They shoot it pretty decently. We need to play well. We want to come out and establish ourselves early, and the way we do that is with our defense. And we feel like we can score some points, but let's get after them defensively and get those defensive points.
Yeah, Cannon Thornhill last year set the blue and gold 3-pointer in a game record with 9. Which again, at the blue and gold tournament, so that's the all-time single game 3-point record. Kind of
nice
in a way. That's been going on for a long time. And you think of some of the teams, it just seems that, 9's a lot, but you still kind of think
if you're not guarded, 9's a lot.
Thing with some of those people that have been going through there, the Greenwood kid and Strafford's had those kids.
Cronenberger kids from Aurora back in.
Yeah, I mean, you
back in
think
the
it would
day.
be that, but he holds with 9. So I think you're right. Yeah, we've won the last 6 meetings, but again, it's it's like I said, you got to be ready to play, and this is one of those, coming off of the tournament victory and everything. It could be one of those, we'll make sure it's not overlooking as we get ahead for the Branson in the weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think our guys are ready.
Yeah.
They're I know they're ready to play somebody again.
Yeah.
We've had this schedule where it's kind of we'll have a week off too often.
Yeah.
And but they're fired up and ready to roll.
Yeah,
So
they're a little bit different team. I mean, they're I don't know if they're quite Grinnell style where
Yeah.
they want to shoot a three in 3 or 4 seconds, but against Willard, it sure seemed like that. I bet they shot 43s in the game. They've scored a ton of points.
Yeah.
And even against good people, they put up quite a few points. And so it's kind of one of those games where our guys have to come ready to play because they start knocking some of those down. It can change a game, but they've done it. You can tell, even like watching them on film, their student body is, they didn't even have one last year.
Yeah.
And now they've got a bunch of students there cheering them on. So you can tell that he's doing a good job getting them better. So.
Yeah, that's good. It's always good to see Coach Thornhill have some success, but we'd like to kind of change that too.
Change that.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
yes, I think they're 5-6 on the season so far. But again, like I said, every game matters from here on out for us. So then we head to Branson. So a new shootout down in Branson. So Friday and Saturday. Friday at 5:30, taking on Blue Valley Northwest out of Olathe, Kansas. They're 8-2 on the season. One of the things that they had them ranked in the top 10 in their state, but it's like kind of an overall ranking, so it's kind of a hard thing to do, and it's not like an official one. And then on Saturday, 1 p.m. against Benton High School out of St. Joe, who is 10-0, and they finished second last year in the state tournament to Vashon. So, man, I was looking at this and going through it. So, Blue Valley's 8-2. Last year they're 15-7. They got a different playoff system out there, so they were like second in the Eastern District. But you got to qualify to even get to stuff. It's a weird thing. They only average 65 a game versus our 70, 44 points allowed versus our 47. So it'll be kind of an interesting thing. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They got a 6'3" guard that's kind of a wing, but he used to be a post player growing up. And so I'm familiar with the kid from when we played against him a lot, and he hasn't really grown since he's been that post player, but he's got a good frame. I think he's a big football player, probably going to be a D1 football player. They got several, I think, that are football prospects on that team. But they're having some success again. And then Benton on Saturday, which, Ben, they're loaded up. What's Goodwin? Lincoln Goodwin, I think is his name. 6'2" guard, does a little bit of everything for him. I mean, assists, rebounds.
They're long.
Yeah.
I've seen film on them, and they're both teams are really going to be a handful. I mean, when you play at 5:30 one night and then you go play again at 1 o'clock the next afternoon, it's we're hoping our conditioning that we've been through all season so far pays off for us there because two quality opponents.
Yeah, they got a big 6'10" post player, 7 points a game, 3 or 5 rebounds a game.
He's athletic.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But again, you look at Paxton at 6'7", doing his thing, and we get some size. But again, they got some kind of similar to us with some of those 6'4" wings, 6'4"
I've got
guards.
Paxton listed at 6'8". It's Ethan that's saying that he's 6'7".
Well,
he loves the
well,
6'7".
in Republic, they even listed Ethan at 6'8". And that was kind of funny. So the announcer read it the first time, then he's like, "What?" And so the next day he didn't. He changed himself 6'4", but the poor TV broadcaster still had him at 6'8". They got size out there. That made the siblings a little more upset about that.
Sure.
So what's also interesting is those two teams, St. Joe Benton and Blue Valley Northwest, will play tomorrow night up at in Olathe.
They sure
at Blue
do.
Valley Northwest. So it'll be kind of interesting, good chance to watch film on that and see both of those between after the game on Tuesday with our game, and then a couple days to kind of game plan a little bit more and see that. It'd be kind of good to see.
Yeah, it's I love the competition that we're getting. I mean, as we go down the stretch, we've got 16 games left. Half of those teams are ranked teams, and so it's going to prepare us well for what we want to go through toward the end of the season.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a great competition. I think the boys are ready for it. So, do you guys since you're going to Branson, are there any activities planned, or is it pretty much just locked into the thing? Because I mean,
We'll probably have to keep an eye on Josh because you know how he gets. But there's not a lot of time to have much in the way of activities. They are putting us in some nice cabins, so the guys will have fun. That fun needs to end rather early in the evening, just so that they're ready to go. And it's going to be. It seems like it's going to be fall temperatures, 60 degrees on Friday.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little different, and then turn around the next day and you're looking at a 40 something high. Right. So it'll be a fun time. Probably not a lot of time to have fun.
Gotcha. I like that. I like that. So the reason I bring up the whole Branson thing is because we had a lot of good memories, Branson, over the years. Just go down for the shootouts. So this is going to be like one of the first in-season times down there. So do we have a favorite memory of Branson in the shootouts? I'll be honest, Mike. So I was working hard because I have pictures of when you're little and down there mini golf and looking through the little windmill thing or whatever. There, I got a bunch of pictures, but apparently none of them are digital. They're all like the old style. So kids. Good. Everything that wasn't always on a phone, right? It used to be actually a thing called camera, and you have film, and then you'd get the actual pictures that'd be there. And they're in a tub somewhere. And it wasn't that long ago I saw them, but I couldn't find them. So, but I was wanting to have it up here and put it up there so everyone can see that.
Yeah, I mean,
they look different.
We played down there in the summer back whenever I was playing there in that Tri-Lakes shootout. Favorite memory? I don't know. It was just always fun because the nights were always filled with going up on that strip of Branson, of mini golf, go-karts. Andy's custard was always there. Can't miss that. I mean, just the trip usually itself is an opportunity for fun just because it's in Branson. I mean,
relationships and team building.
Yeah.
And then you think about those times when you'd have 3 teams, maybe 4 teams. Because with that older group, we had them down there in junior high. And then there would be 4 different teams. So at every game, there was a Bulldog playing every hour of the day. Now, it was long, but then watching all the teams gather to watch the next one and kind of having that atmosphere, too. I remember
a lot of fun.
That was some good times back then. That was good. Any other memories you guys got?
No.
Josh, what you got, man?
No, I mean our bus didn't break down to Branson, so we're in pretty good shape. But no,
we've had a couple bus breakdowns at the Kansas City way.
But Branson's been spared.
We've been okay.
But that'll be good. That'll be a lot of fun. I just put up the Branson schedule here for all those that'll be down there. I'm going to be working to try and stream that. We're working with trying to reach out to Branson and then be able to put that out there live. Just a quick little picture there of the Bulldogs, all you guys, with winning the championship game from the Phelps Health Boys Holiday Tournament. Appreciate that. That's kind of cool. Didn't mention the all tournament team. Paxton Ledbetter, Justin Thomas, Ethan Brown, all on the all tournament team. So that was kind of good and good turnout, I think, from that. Did a great job on that. Man, guys, it's busy. It's been a great holiday. Got a lot of stuff going on. Now we're going to be heading into some, kind of the
time to lock in.
Yeah. It is. Lock in, go with it. We got Marshfield tomorrow night, so make sure you turn out for that. Again, only 4 more home games, so get out there right now, cheer on the Bulldogs. Freshmen start at 4:30, JV to follow, and varsity to follow after that. And then Friday, 5:30 p.m. at Branson High School. Part of that shootout will be taken on Blue Valley Northwest. Saturday, 1 o'clock on Saturday?
Yes.
1 o'clock on Saturday at Branson High School. St. Joe Benton, second in the state last year, currently 10-0, ranked number 2 in Class 4. So definitely games you do not want to miss. Tune in for that. Coaches, thanks a lot. Thanks for staying a little longer with me. Had a lot to talk about. I know you guys got stuff to do. Mike's over there, thinking about,
dinner,
vacation stuff coming up. He's trying to be all healthy.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thanks for having us, Gunn.
Thanks guys. For the Bulldog coach and staff, I'm Tom Brown. From inside the huddle to the heart of the game. We'll see you next time.